It's kind of an oxymoron, the concept of feeling empty inside, numb to life. How can I feel nothing? My brain is wired in a weird way. I'll preface in saying I've never got any kind of diagnosis or help for any kind of like mental health shit. I've just tried to do my best to keep myself in balance, to try to keep the lows from getting too low. And everything for me comes in waves: happiness, sadness, and fucking everything in between. And somewhere way off in the void of that in between is a feeling that creeps into my mind more often than I'd like. Or I guess I should say the opposite of a feeling is just nothing, you know? I was driving home from work tonight and I just felt, I don't know, off, wrong. And as I drove, I realized, I was feeling empty. And I guess, saying I felt empty is a paradox. You can't feel no feelings. But it was something, whatever the fuck it was, that I'm all too familiar with. I've had that sensation a lot of times in my life. And sometimes, sometimes it's for a reason. Maybe somebody died, I got hurt by somebody that I trusted, I lost out on an opportunity, whatever. But sometimes there's no catalyst, there's no reason. I just don't feel anything. As I was driving, my eyes were just kind of fixated on the empty road in front of me. And I kind of live like out of the city, so I gotta drive through like a bunch of dark county roads. And at one point, probably like halfway through my drive, I looked and I locked eyes with a deer that was on the side of the road waiting to cross. And although I know, all he could see was the bright lights coming towards him, I stared into his eyes for like, I don't know, maybe a second, but it felt like 10 seconds. Like, I love animals, It's one of my good qualities that I get from my mom. And normally in this situation, I was going 55 in the dark. I'd get scared, nervous that it was going to jump out in front of my car. But, it's like also you're kind of fascinated because, like, oh shit, I get to see an elusive animal that you don't see in person very often. But when I looked at it, I felt nothing. Like, nothing at all. And I realized that this might sound like a stupid example, but I realized like right then that I was going through another one of those moments in life, like the times where I just fucking feel empty. Like, I got home, I turned off my car, and I sat there in like the pitch black for a few minutes, just existing. Even now, I feel kind of numb. I'm putting this into words because I know it's not a good thing to feel, or I guess not feel in this case. But it's got me thinking, about my life and the way I am. I'm super introverted, but like with a caveat, I have wonderful people skills. I can move through a room and schmooze everybody. I can network, like I can I can be the life of the party. But that's not me. It's a facade that I put on, It's a damn good one, but it's a mask. I don't know, a lot of people can do it too, but for me personally, that shit drains my social battery almost immediately. And I'm not quite antisocial, but I'm in a spot in my life where I'm kind of like completely disconnected from people. I haven't seriously dated in like 5 years. I just have hookups here and there. I've grown apart from most of my childhood or like early adulthood friends. I don't really talk to anybody anymore. I don't really connect with the people I work with or like the customers that I help. Even with my own mom, like the person I love the most in this world. Lately, I've kind of noticed I've been kind of distancing myself a little bit more from her. And, it clicked. I'm incredibly fucking isolated right now. And I don't know why or how that it happened. I try so hard to convince myself that I'm a good person. But I noticed that I don't allow myself to be close with people very often. Like if I felt like I don't deserve it in the first place. Sometimes I treat myself like I don't deserve a lot of shit. I don't know why, and I don't really know how to fix it. And don't get it twisted. This is not a plea for help or nothing like that. I don't want pity or anything like that. And the shit is I know in a few hours, I'm not gonna be feeling this way no more. The shit comes and goes. A lot like, like the depression I've dealt with most of my adult life. It just kind of randomly creeps into my head and I can never really pinpoint the reason why. I'm sure, like everything else I talk about, this isn't a problem that's exclusive to me. It's just something I felt like I needed to express and put out there. Maybe just for myself. I tell myself that I've learned to love myself and the person that I am, but sometimes I really don't know if that shit's true or if I'm just kind of bullshitting myself. The more time that passes, the more I think I might need to like really seek help or like talk to somebody. So maybe the next time, I'm feeling empty, I can watch this shit back, and whether it be to remind myself that it's just a passing feeling, or maybe to motivate myself to stop wasting time and finally try to get some fucking help. Either way, don't be like that deer. And don't be like me. When a problem arises, don't be a deer in headlights. Make a move, do something to help yourself. We have a really short amount of time on this earth, and feeling how I'm feeling right now is a fucking waste of the precious hours, minutes, and seconds that we get. We're not alone in the world. Really, none of us. At least we don't need to be.